Hello everyone. So in our previous video we have completed chapter number 6 till 6.2. Okay, 6.2 of chapter number 6 was completed. So today we will start 6.3, but before that we'll study one more important property of triangle, and based on this only we have to solve 6.3. okay, so before this we studied about the exterior angle property of triangle. Now this is the angle sum property. Okay, this is also known as angle sum property of a triangle. So sum in the sense addition, we all are familiar with this term. Now angle sum means what? We know that there are three angles present in the triangle. So whenever we'll add these three angles, so total will always be 180 degree. Okay, no matter whatever the measure of angle is in the given triangle. Okay, the measure of angles will definitely differ from angle triangle to triangle, but the total sum of all the angles will compulsorily be 180 always. Okay, it will be compulsorily 180. So the statement goes like the total measure of the three angles of a triangle is 180. Fine. Angle number A, B or C, we can also name it as 1, 2, 3. The total will always be 180. Okay. Now see, if you wish to verify this property, then very easily you can verify it. What you have to do is, just without taking any measurement, randomly you draw at least 3-4 triangles in your paper. Okay, then using your protractor you just measure angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. After measuring these three angles, you add them up. Fine, you will definitely come to know that the result is always 180. So this can be very easily verified by using protractor, pen and paper. Fine, this can be done. Now based on this property we have exercise 6.3 that we'll be learning today. Okay, so learn this property quite easy. Measure of all the angle is 180. Just one statement you need to keep in your mind. See, so now let's start exercise 6.3. So what you are supposed to do in this exercise, see, find the values of unknown x in the given diagrams. Fine, so there are different types of triangles are provided in this exercise, and out of the three angles, two angles will be provided and one angle you have to find. Fine, out of three angles you have to find, after three angles, two angles will be provided and the one remaining one you have to find. So see here, angle number B and C is given as 50 and 60, but angle A is missing. They, in place of angle A, they have written x. So we need to find the value of this x. So what we can write, angle A plus B plus angle C is equals to 180. See here, you also have to mention the reason for this, that why we are equating these angles equal to 180 degree. That is the angle sum property, because of angle sum property. But since all the questions are based on the same property, I have not mentioned the properties again and again, but it will be good if you mention the properties. In fact, you have to write the properties. So you write the properties in every questions, or else before starting the exercise you can write in the beginning only, and based on that you solve the exercise. Okay, but please write the property along with the sum. Okay, now in place of A we can write x. Fine, because value of A is given as x. Similarly in place of B we can write 50 because value of B is given 50. Similarly in place of C we can write 60. Equate this to 180. Now x will be carried forward as it is. Fine, since it carries no value. Now 50 plus 60, both the numbers can be added. You will get 110 is equals to 180 as it is. Now in order to find the value of x, value of x, what you have to do, transpose this 110 to the right side of the equation. So when you will transpose this to the right side, it will become negative, and on subtracting you will get the value of x as 70. For verifying your answer, you can also do, in place of x you write 70 degree. Now try to add these three angles. 50 and 60 is 110, and 110 and 70 will give you 180. Fine, so this way you can verify your answers also. It's quite easy, students. Now let's move on to the next question. See here, different type of triangle is given. Fine, that is triangle PQR. Now here Again one angle is unknown, this is 30, and here nothing is given, but we know that this is perpendicular, so this angle is 90 degree. So once again we can write angle, measure angle P plus measure angle Q plus measure angle R is 180 degree. And don't forget to mention the reason, because of angle sum property we can write this statement. Now in place of P, what is the value of P? That is 90 over here. So in place of P we have to write 90 degree. Fine. Similarly in place of Q, so in place of Q we have to write 30 because 30 is given, and in place of R we have to write X. Fine. See, the position doesn't matter. If you write 30 plus 90 plus X, then also it's right. Okay, in the very first statement if you want to write the numbers together, then also you can do. Okay, it's alright, position doesn't matters. Fine. This is equals to 180. Next is 90 and 30 will give me 120. X will be carried forward as it is, and on the right hand side of the equation 180 will also be carried forward. Now in order to get the value of X, once again we have to transpose 120 to the right hand side, and while on transposing it will become negative, and on subtracting you will get the value of X is 60. So this value of X turns out to be 60. You can verify your answer. 60 and 30, 90, 90 and 90, 180. So yes, your answer is absolutely correct. Now let's move on to the next question. See here, one more triangle is given, that is triangle X, Y and Z. Fine. So the values of X and Y are 30 and 110. Fine. And value of Z they have given X, that is the unknown angle. See here, so in the very first step what I have written the numbers together, and then X is equals to 180. This can be added and you will get 140 plus X is equals to 180. Similarly, once again in order to get the value of X, transpose 140 to the right hand side, it will get subtracted and you will get the value of X as 40 degree. Done. Very easy. Same steps you have to perform, not same, similar steps you have to perform in all the sums. Okay, this type of sums are very important from exams point of view and are based on a single property of triangle, so it is much scoring section if you talk from the point of view of exams also then too. Now let's move on to the next triangle. See here, two unknowns are there. Okay, now there is a small twist, there is a little twist in the types of question. Instead of providing two angles, they have just provided you one single angle, that is 50 degree. Rest two are X, but no worries, we know the method, so we can solve it. See, 50 plus X, we know that the total will turn out to be 180. Fine. So here I have mentioned, write the property also, angle sum property. Now see here, no other number is there, only 50 is there, so 50 will be carried forward as it is. Now X and X both are like terms. Okay, both are like terms, so X plus X will give me 2X is equals to 180. In the next step, in order to find the value of X, carry forward the X term as it is. Okay, this variable term, that is the X term, carry forward this X as it is, but 50 will be transposed to the right hand side and will get subtracted. Fine. So on subtracting we'll get 2X is equals to 130. Now we have to find the value of X and not 2X, so we should remove this 2, or we should solve this 2. So how to do? See, let the X be here only, because we wish to find the value of X, so let it be here only at its place. Now see, 2 is in multiplication relation with X. Okay, multiplication. So when 2 will be transposed to right hand side, it will get divided. You must be knowing by now that addition on transposing becomes subtraction, subtraction on transposing becomes addition. Similarly, multiplication on transposing becomes division, and division on transposing becomes multiplication. Fine. So here X is in the multiplication with X, so on transposing it will be divided. So X will be 130 by 2. On dividing you will get the value of X as 65. It means that in this particular angle, these two angles are 65. Okay, these two angles are 65. You can add and you can verify, you will get 180 for sure. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. See, again the question is totally different. Okay, again there is one more twist in the question, is that they haven't provided even a single angle. Okay, out of three angles, not even a single value is given. All these three are unknown. Okay, but still we can solve it if we know the angle sum property. Fine. See, x plus x will give me 180. Fine, as per the property. Now observe that these three terms are like terms. Okay, so we can easily add them up. So x plus x will give me 3 times x, that is 3x, is equals to 180. Once again, for obtaining the value of x, we need to transpose 3 to the right hand side, and we know that 3 is in the multiplication relation with x. So on transposing, it will come in division. Okay, and we can easily divide this number now. 3 ones are 3 and 3 6 are 18, and 0 will be as it is. So the value of x will be 60 degree in this case. Okay, so all these three angles are 60 degree. In this triangle, all these three angles are 60 degree. Okay, based on this, you can even name the type of triangle. See, if all these three angles are 60 degree, then very easily you can make out that this is equilateral triangle. Done. Now let's move on to the next question. Again a good question, different type of question. See, here three angles are there. One is x and one is 2x, and the third angle is a right angle. Very easily we can make out that this angle is a right angle. Fine. Now add these three angles, that is x plus 2x plus 90 will give me 180. Now since these two are like terms, very easily they can be added. So x plus 2x will give me 3x. Okay, 2x plus 1 more x is 3x. Okay, and at the same time, transposing 90 to RHS, we can write it as 180 minus 90. 90 will get subtracted. So this becomes 3x is equals to 90 degree. Once again, in order to obtain the value of x, we have to transpose 3, which will come in division form. And on dividing, we will get x is equals to 30. So in this question, the value of x is 30 degree. Now, if we talk about the values of angles, then what will be the values of angle? See, this is 90 that we know. This will be 60 because, 30. This will be 30. Why? Because we know that x is equals to 30. And what about this angle? This is twice of x, 2 into x. So this angle will be 2 into 30. So this angle will be 60. Getting? You see, this angle will be 60 degree. Okay, this angle will be 30 degree and this is 90 degree. On adding, you can verify that the total will turn out to be 180 for sure. So based on this property, based on the angle sum property of triangle, we have this many types of question which are likely to come in examinations. Fine. Now let's move on to the different types of question which are based on the above two properties that we have learned so far. Two property in the sense exterior angle property and angle sum property. Okay, fine. So based on those two properties, now we will solve the sum. Now see, in this type of question there is one more twist. Here we have more than one variables, that is, see, two angles are missing, x and y, and both are different types. Okay, both are unlike. So there are two variables present in this type of questions. Fine, quite important once again. So let's start with this question. See, in this triangle they have provided the exterior angle as 120, this one is 50, and this is x and this is y. Now we have learnt that exterior angle is the sum of the two opposite interior angle. So I can write x plus 50 is equals to 120. Why? Because of exterior angle property suggests us this. Okay, so x plus 50 is equals to 120. Now in order to obtain the value of x, transpose 50 to the right hand side. It will get subtracted and you will get the value of x as 70 degree. Getting? The value of x will be 70 degree in this case. So here you write 70 degree. Okay, just for your convenience. Later on you can add and you can verify your answer. Now next step. Now once we have obtained the value of x, that is now we know this angle. So out of 3 angles, now we have 2 angles known. Now to obtain the third angle, what can we use? We can use angle sum property, that is 50 plus this 70 degree and plus this y will give me 180 because of angle sum property. Now y will be carried down as it is, 50 and 70 will give me 120, and again this 180 will be carried further as it is. Now in order to obtain the value of y, transpose 120 to the right hand side. On subtracting, you will get the value of y as 60 degree. Done. So both the variables we found so easily using the easiest properties of triangles. Now in this question, see, AT and y are given as vertically opposite angles. Okay, AT and y, very easily from the figure only we can make out that AT and y are vertically opposite angles. Okay, so we can write y is equals to ATY because they are vertically opposite angles. Now since we know the value of y, we can use the angle sum property to find the value of x. So 50 plus 80 plus x will give me 180 as per angle sum property. Okay. Now next, adding both the numbers will get 130, remaining terms as it is. Now again, in order to get the value of x, okay, transpose 130 to the right hand side, and on subtracting will get the value of x as 50. Okay, so x turns out to be 50 in this case. You can add and you can verify your answer also. See, 50 and y is 80. So 50 and 80 will give me 130. 130 and x, that is 130 and 50 will give me 180. So both the values that we have found are absolutely correct. Done. Easy. Quite tricky one, interesting one, little bit calculative, and based on just 2 simple properties of triangle. Now let's move on to the next question. See here also, you have x and y as 2 variables and these 2 angles are provided. Now see, 2 opposite angles are provided, so very easily first we can find out the value of x. Okay, see, x will be 50 plus 60 as per the exterior angle property. So on adding, you will get x is equals to 110 very easily in just one step. Now in order to find the value of y, once again we have 2 angles, so very easily it can be found by using angle sum property. Adding all the 3 angles will get 180. Okay, now adding the numbers will get 110 plus y is equals to 180. On transposing 110 to the right hand side, it will become negative and we will obtain the value of y as 70 degree. Done. Easy. Let's move on to the next question. In this question, see, this angle is given as 60 degree. This is x, y and 30 degree. So once again, as we observe this diagram, the first thing that should strike your mind is that 60 and x are vertically opposite angles, so but obviously x will also be 60. So here we can write x is equals to 60. Why? Because 60 and x are vertically opposite angles. So very easily we found the value of x in just one step. Now since we have the value of x and one angle is already provided using these 2 angles, very easily we can find the value of y using the angle sum property. So now 30 plus 60 plus y will give me 180. Adding the numbers will have 90 plus y is equals to 180. Again, to get y, we need to transpose 90 on the other side, and on subtracting we'll get y as 90 degree. Done. Let's move on to the next question. See here, these 2 are unknown angles. This one is quite different, important, tricky question. So focus. Okay, see, these 2 are same angle, that is x and x. They are same but they are unknown. Same but unknown. This is y and this one is given as 90. So once again, little bit of similar as we did in the earlier question. See, y and 90 are vertically opposite angles. So very easily we can find that y is 90 because it's vertically opposite to 90 degree. So y is also 90. Now since we know this angle, using angle sum property we can find the value of unknown x, that is x plus this y, which is 90. Its total will give me 180. Fine. Now 90 will be carried further as it is. Now x plus x both are like terms. It can be added and will turn out to be 2x. Fine. So 90 plus 2x is equals to 180 degree. Now in order to get the value of x, transpose 90 to the right hand side, and on subtracting you will get 2x as 90 degree. But we are interested to find the value of x and not 2x. So further we have to solve it. So transpose 2 again to the right hand side. Since it is in the multiplication form with x, on transposing it will come in division. Okay, and on dividing we'll have the value of x as 45 degree. Done. So these two angles of this triangle are 45 degree and this is 90 degree. Done. So 90 and 90 will turn out to be 180. Now the last question and the most trickiest one, I would say, of this exercise. Fine. See how they have given the question here. Not even a single angle, measure of single angle is provided. Okay, not even the measure of single angle is provided. X, x and x. These three are the exterior angles. Okay, and all three are unknown. Fine, but we know that all three are same because x they have written. So all these three are same but unknown. Similarly, they have mentioned this angle as y. So no issue if they have not given the values, but they have given us one hint. See, focus here. You will find out that x and y are vertically opposite angles. So we can write x is equals to y as per vertically opposite angles. Fine. Now see, what next? This is also x. So this will also be x because this is also vertically opposite. If this is x, then this will also be x because this is also vertically opposite. So what we can have here is x plus y will give me 180. Getting? Once again I am repeating, x plus y will give me 180 degree. Fine. Now see, in the next step what I have done, in place of y I am writing x. Why? Because from the first step we know that x and y are same. So here in this step, in place of y I have written x. So now it becomes x plus x is equals to 180 degree. Getting? You have to mention the reason also because this carries, the steps carries marks. So here in bracket you have to write x is equals to y. Fine. Now these three are the like terms. So on adding we'll have 3x is equals to 180 degree. But we need to find the value of x and not 3x. So transpose 3 to the right hand side. It will come in the denominator as division. Fine. And on dividing you can get the value of x is 60 degree. Fine. In the sense what, the exterior angles of the triangle are 60 degree and these two interior angles are also 60 degree. And what about y? What about y? So of course y will also be 60 degree. Why? Because x and y are vertically opposite angles, just as we discussed. So this again is your equilateral triangle. Okay, they have just twisted the question, they have just changed the format of asking the question, rest everything is similar. Fine. So this was the last question of exercise 6.2. I hope it is clear so far. Whatever we have learned today, you understood everything, but still if you have any queries you can discuss it with me. Thank you.